My name is Katie Grant, and this presentation is for LTEC 4121. This is my audience. If I want them to introduce themselves and say how long they've been working in customer service. Go ahead.
I'm Jackie Ryan, and I worked at Victor Equipment for 30 years, and 10 of that was in customer service.
My name is Marla Denham. I worked in customer service for a utility company for 16 years, and then I'm currently in payroll at Peterbilt for the last 10 years, so still pretty much in customer service.
My name is Robert Grant. I work in the satellite broadcast communications field. I'm a field service manager. I have been in customer service for the past 8 years.
Okay, and he's also my cameraman, so I'm going to give him the camera, and he is going to, so I can start my presentation. Okay, like I said, my name is Katie Grant. I am going to give a presentation over customer care. I would like to first start off by reading you a quote. The only right way to run a company and the most profitable way is to saturate your company with the voice of the customer. I just wanted to talk a little bit about myself. I have been married for 11 years. I have 2 children. They are 6 and 2. I am a junior at the University of North Texas, and my major is Development and Family Studies. And I worked in the customer service field for 8 years as a court clerk. So now I'm going to have you all take a survey. This survey should take about 5 minutes. And you basically just, it's on a scale of 1 to 10, and you will rate yourself, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, of where you fall with the questions. And then you add up your score at the end, and then we'll go from there.
Done.
You're done? Everybody good? Okay. So, if you rated yourself 80 or above, you will be or are excellent with customers. Did anybody rate 80 or above?
I did.
Okay, so 2 ladies did. Let's see. If you rated yourself between 50 and 80, you may need to learn better human relations skills before working with the public. Anybody between that?
I was
You were between that? Okay.
78. I feel it's a little low. I think maybe differentiating myself between business and home was probably a portion of the survey.
Oh, okay. So you think it's different between home and
I
work?
think so.
Okay. If you scored under 50, then working with customers is probably a poor career choice for you. So nobody scored under 50, which is really good. I actually scored a 75 when I took it. And I kind of agree with you with what you said.
Good.
So, slide. So a few statistics and facts that I found that I thought were very interesting. It takes 12 positive experiences to make up for one negative, unresolved experience. In 2011, 86% of consumers quit doing business with a company due to a bad customer service experience. Employees only ask for the customer's name 21% of the time, which I like this one because I think you should ask for the customer's name every time. It personalizes it, it makes them feel wanted. Slide. So we're going to start off with knowing the customer. What do they want to hear? The first thing they want to hear is a solution to their problem. A lot of times you can't come up with a solution on your own. So in this case, you need to ask your boss or your supervisor, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to have a solution that you wouldn't have. Ways their needs can be met. This is the second most important thing. Always have a way in the back of your mind to solve a problem. And kind words. Treat them as you would want to be treated. If you talk to someone kindly, you don't raise your voice, you treat them with respect, they're going to gain your trust and they're going to come back. What they don't want to hear, that it's not your job. Even if something you're not sure about, always ask someone. Like I said again, if you're not sure and you think it's not your job, it probably is your job. So you always need to ask. And then the second one, it's against the company policy. Usually when people hear this, it's not against the company policy. The person's just saying it as an out. They don't want to deal with it. They're done with the situation. So they're saying they technically can't do it because it's against their policy. Slide. So keep in mind that presentation is key when dealing with customers. Dress for success. The customer sees your appearance before anything else. Look presentable, comb your hair, brush your teeth, wear nice clothes, wear nice shoes, look nice. If you look nice, they're going to want to come back to see you. Self-confidence. This is always shows in your attitude and your appearance. If you have self-confidence in what you're doing and you know what you're doing, you're going to look good and you're going to come off knowledgeable. And then knowledgeable. Know what you're selling and the information you're conveying. So know the product. If you're selling something, know what you're selling. If they have questions, you'll be able to answer them. And then friendliness. Kill them with kindness every time. Just be nice. It's not hard to do, but for a lot of people it is hard to do. Even if you're having a bad day, smile. Try and be as nice as possible. Slide. Okay, this one, the 5 dimensions of quality customer care. I think these 5 things are the most important thing when it comes to the quality of customer care. The first one would be tangibles. The appearance of physical surroundings, including employee appearance. So your physical surroundings could be the dirtiness of your office, or if you have a pile of papers where there's a form in the middle of it, and it took you 10 minutes to find it when it should have taken you 30 seconds to find it. Reliability. The ability to perform the promised service accurately. Do what you say you're going to do every time. That's very important. And then, of course, responsiveness, providing prompt service. A good rule of thumb is to always answer an email or a phone call or a message within 24 hours. Don't wait 48 hours. Don't wait 3 days, 4 days. Always try and do it within 24 hours. And then, let's see, assurance, the courtesy of employees and knowledge of their ability. So always have, be courteous and be knowledgeable. And then, of course, empathy, which I think is the most important one. Caring and individualized attention. People want to feel important, and if they feel like they're special, then they will come back to the company every time. Slide. So something to keep in mind is that not all of the dimensions are equal. In most cases, all of the dimensions are important to the customer. Usually, most customers want every dimension fulfilled when they are with your company. And then some are more important than others. You know, sometimes a customer may want a really, really clean office and an organized office, but you don't have to answer their email in 24 hours. It's not something that's just as important to them, or vice versa. And then avoid focusing on one dimension and neglecting the others. So always try and keep everything equal between the 5 dimensions. If you do that, that's the best way to keep a customer coming back. Okay, so dealing with a difficult customer. We've all done this. What do you say? And these are some of the things that I used to say in my job that I feel are important when a customer is being difficult. I want to help you, yet the language is getting in the way. And what I mean by language is big words, like sometimes you will talk to your coworkers or your boss and use terms that you're familiar with that maybe the customer's not familiar with. So if you're using these big words to try and talk to the customer, they get in the way, sometimes it makes them feel inferior, and it makes them angry. Please give me an opportunity to resolve this for you. That is why I'm here. The customer wants to know that you're there to resolve their issues, whether you do it or your supervisor does it. So always keep that in mind, that if you let them know that's why you're there every time, it'll put them at ease. And then this one I really like because I used to be cursed at a lot over the phone where I used to work and yelled at because I didn't deal with happy-go-lucky people. It was a lot of times it was people who had open warrants, who were tickets, who owed money, and they just weren't very happy. So this is something good you can say to those types of people. I'm trying to help you, but if you continue to yell and swear, I'm going to ask that you call back another time. It's up to you. Which would you prefer? And I think the most important part in that is the end. It's up to you. If you let them know that it is up to them whether they stop cursing and yelling or continue to curse and yell, then that leaves the ball in their court. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to stop cursing and they're going to stop yelling and they're going to become nice. Slide. Okay, so I'm going to end with this. A few things to always remember, to always keep in mind. Watch your tone and volume. It's important to remember to not yell, to not shout, even if they're yelling and shouting at you, just maintain a low volume, a low tone. If you yell and shout, they're going to sense anger and they're going to yell and shout. Do not answer emotion with emotion. So that kind of goes along with the first one. If a customer is yelling or shouting at you, cussing at you, they're showing very, very hateful emotions. You don't want to show those hateful emotions back. You want to stay calm, to keep your voice low, and eventually, if you do that, the same thing will happen with them. Their voice will become calm, their voice will become low. And apologize when justified. I like this one because sometimes you just don't need to apologize. It's important to know that. If you're being cussed at or yelled at or anything like that, then you need to know that sometimes you just need to go to your boss. It's important to go to your boss if those things are happening, because 9 times out of 10, when you tell somebody over the phone or face-to-face, I'm about to go to my supervisor, I'm about to get my boss, they're going to calm down. And then that leads to the last one. Report to your supervisor when necessary. Sometimes when it is necessary to report to your supervisor is if someone's becoming violent with you, getting angry with you, cussing at you, anything like that. Maybe you don't feel safe. I know a lot of times I was in situations where I didn't feel safe, even though there was a bulletproof glass in between me and my customers. I didn't feel safe. You never know who has a gun. You never know who wants to harm you, who's going to lose their temper. So in cases like that, it is important to report to your supervisor because they're going to be able to fix that situation before you can. Slide. Any questions?
I do have a question.
Okay.
One question.
In the dealing with difficult customers slide, the quotations seemed really office-based. Do you think those same quotations would work as equally in a field
Oh, because you work in the field?
position?
You mean the quotations on what to say? Sure. Because you're dealing with that customer face to face, right?
But it's as an in-home, if you were in their home.
Oh, if
kind of
you're in
on
their
territory,
home.
do you think holding the same kind of dominant approach would work as equally?
I think so. Because even though you're in their home, you're in charge. You're providing their service. If they want what you're providing, then they'll be nice to you. They'll stop what they're demeaning you or being rude to you. If they don't want your service, then you can leave. I mean, even though it's their home, you're in control of that situation because you're providing them a service.